This is Ladybug with TruthHurts News 7, and I just wanted to point this out real quick. Now, the UN has this nifty little thing they call the Arms Trade Treaty in place for us civilians. And this goes hand in bloody hand with all the world governments, because we're not the only ones, guys. 122 or so other countries is going to be doing this under the UN's implementation to completely strip us of any and all remaining constitutional rights, including our gun rights, that we may very vaguely be clinging to. Now, Article 2 of this, and first of all, I want to point this out. This is not a hoax. It's not a joke. It's not, a bubble-headed theory that some tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists come up with. This is actual, factual, documented stuff. And I'll leave links, you can look at the stuff yourself and download the documents. But 125 states have already signed this treaty and 55 have ratified it so far. So this is a pretty big deal. Now, Article 2 of this treaty defines the scope of our prohibitions to own, buy, sell, trade, or transfer any and all means of armed resistance, including handguns. And that's not all. Thereafter, all light weapons. And so this leads me to wonder, if you have to hunt off the land to survive like we do here in the hills of Kentucky, and you have a crossbow, would that be considered a light weapon? That's just something to think about, just in case. Now, Article 3 places the ammunition under Article 2 also, which means right off the bat, the prohibition covers all guns and means of transportation of guns and all ammunition. So right off the bat, we're defenseless. This is very alarming. Article 4 rounds out the regulations, also placing all parts and components of weapons within the scheme. And that's what this is a big fat scheme to strip us of our rights to own guns and have any constitution whatsoever. It is a big fat pig dressed up in makeup, sprayed with perfume, and if you haven't been in a sow slot before, it is filthy and nasty and filled with manure, and quite frankly, it's not anywhere I would want to be anywhere close by. But that's the situation that we have here in America, and we've got to deal with it. So, perhaps the most alarming in this is in Article 5 under General Implementation, and that mandates that all countries participating in the treaty, which includes the United States, shall, and this word shall means must, establish and maintain a national control system with a national control list. And we have been over this list time and time again in our articles and videos and blogs and whatnot. But we're going to look at this list one more time for any newcomers or anyone who might not be awake and aware to this. And now they're not just going after a certain type of assault weapons or anything like that. They are after the broadest range of arms. So Article 12 adds to the mountainous record-keeping requirement that the quantity and value and model/type and authorized international transfers of conventional arms, as well as the identity of the end users of these items, which is the owners of the weapons, which would be me and you. So not only are our weapons going to be going on a national or international, I should say, database, if the UN is going to be doing this, which they will be, then our names are going on it also. But we don't have to worry about that because our names are already on the list. So finally, this agreement not only requests, but it demands that the national government take appropriate measures to enforce the terms of the treaty, including civilian disarmament. And if these countries can't handle or control maybe their own civilians, Article 16 graciously and most kindly provides for UN assistance, specifically including help with the enforcement of stockpile management, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration groups or programs. Now, these reintegration programs are FEMA camps. That's just, this is concentration camp in a pretty dress. The reintegration programs are already in effect. They have family relocation centers where they have whole families. It's pretty alarming stuff. So, I got to looking at this document, and I noticed that all throughout the document, they holler a whole lot about peace and security. Peace and security. Well, if you follow scriptures any whatsoever, you will know right off the bat that when they holler peace and security, then sudden destruction is going to come upon them, which is where we're at right now. So you get to looking at the document, and I'll leave the link so you can download the document yourself. But under Article 2, under the scope, I noticed that it states A through G, they're large artillery vehicles like battle tanks, armored combat vehicles, large caliber artillery systems, combat aircraft, attack helicopters, warships, missiles, and missile launchers. Well, yeah, I wouldn't want none of that stuff coming after me, but at the end of this very long list of very large weapons, it states small arms and light weapons. So they're including every single thing. This is absolutely insane. So, back to the national list. Every single person in the United States is on a list. We're either red, blue, or yellow. And we're not people at this point. We're cattle. And we are tagged like you would tag a cattle or tag a cow in the ear and brand it, whatever that tag says is what that cow is. So we're either red, blue, or yellow. And this is how the elite are categorizing us. We're cattle now. Let's remember this. Now, those of us on the red list are those who are enemies of the New World Order and are very loudmouthed about it, I might add, proudly. These are leaders of the patriot groups, your outspoken ministers, your outspoken talk show hosts, your outspoken entertainment industry idols like Dave Chappelle, who absolutely refused to join the Illuminati to gain wealth, and he lost his wealth because of it. Your community leaders, these people will be drug out of their homes and taken, maybe if we make it that far, taken to FEMA camps to be killed. Now, those on the blue list are also enemies of the New World Order, but they are followers of those on the red list, so of course they're enemies also. Now, these people will be rounded up maybe after martial law is in place. I'm not sure if it's going to happen that way, so I'm not going to say for sure. But however the case, they're going to be taken to FEMA detention centers and quote-unquote re-educated. Now, the re-education is the many mind control techniques that these people will be subjected to, and a lot of people won't survive this. This is really, really bad stuff, y'all. Now, if you're on the yellow list, you don't have anything to worry about because you're just a puppet to them and you'll be no threat whatsoever. But, so, how are they going to kill us at the FEMA camps, you wonder? Well, what is the most inexpensive and effective way you can kill a large quantity of people and not have a great big deal of mess and decontamination and whatnot to go through? Well, what people say, well, the Nazis, they burned all them Jews up. Well, yeah, they did, and that was you know, they obliterated millions and millions of Jews, what the Nazis did. But what about guillotines? That's pretty cheap, and it's pretty damn effective. So I'm wondering what the United States government is doing, ordering 30,000 of these things, and they are separated. They're split in half. Half of them, 1,500 or 15,000, excuse me, are in one place, and 15,000 are in another place. And they're just sitting there waiting for, distribution to the FEMA camps. So I just wanted to point this out really quick to y'all. This seemed pretty important, and I wanted to get it out there. This has been Ladybug with Truth Hurts News 7.